Welcome to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. Hi, this is Saoz, IT specialist and member at Web Development. Today we're checking headfirst into the wild world of man-in-the-middle attacks, also known as MITM attacks. Buckle up, because we're about to uncover some seriously sneaky techniques hackers use to intercept your data. We'll be using Kali Linux, the Swiss Army knife of cybersecurity tools, to demonstrate how these attacks work. Don't worry, I'll guide you through every step of the way, even if you're new to this. Alright, imagine this. You're at a coffee shop, sipping on your triple shot espresso, connected to the public Wi-Fi and checking your bank account. Seems harmless, right? Well, not so fast. This is where a man-in-the-middle attack can really ruin your day. It's like having a creepy eavesdropper secretly listening in on your conversation, except in this case, it's your internet traffic. In a nutshell, an MITM attack happens when an attacker secretly intercepts the communication between two parties who believe they're talking directly to each other. It's like the attacker is the middleman, relaying messages back and forth, but with a sinister twist. They can steal your login credentials, credit card info, personal messages, you name it. It's basically digital identity theft in action. Now you might be thinking, but Linus, how is that even possible? Good question. Hackers use a bunch of sneaky techniques to pull this off. One common method is ARP spoofing, which is like changing the address on a letter mid-transit. We'll dive deeper into that later. And another way is by setting up fake Wi-Fi hotspots. You know, those free public Wi-Fi networks that seem too good to be true. Yeah, those are often used for MITM attacks. Okay, let's get our hands dirty and see how ARP spoofing, one of the most common MITM techniques, actually works in action. This is a crucial skill for anyone interested in cybersecurity. Don't worry, we'll be the good guys here, exposing the vulnerability so we can learn to defend against it. Understanding the attack is the first step to building a robust defense. First things first, we need to fire up our trusty Kali Linux machine. This operating system is a favorite among ethical hackers for its powerful tools. This is our cybersecurity playground where we have all the tools we need to simulate real-world attacks. It's like having a virtual lab for all our hacking experiments. Now, ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It's a fundamental part of how devices communicate on a local network. Think of it like a phone book for your local network. It helps devices find each other and establish connections. When your computer wants to send data to another device, it uses ARP to find its MAC address, which is like a unique hardware identifier. This ensures the data reaches the correct destination. ARP spoofing is like messing with this phone book. It's a way to trick devices into sending data to the wrong place. We're going to trick other devices on the network into thinking our Kali machine has the MAC address of the router. This is the essence of the attack. To do this, we'll use a tool called ARP Spoof. It's a powerful utility that makes this kind of attack possible. It's a command line tool, so get ready to embrace your inner hacker. Command line interfaces might seem intimidating, but they're incredibly powerful. We'll type in the command, specifying the target device's IP address and the router's IP address. This is how we direct the traffic to our machine. This tells the target device to send all its traffic to our Kali machine. Instead of the actual router, it's like rerouting mail to a different address. And just like that, we're in the middle. We've positioned ourselves between the target and the internet. All the data flowing between the target device and the internet is now passing through our Kali machine. We have access to everything. We can see everything. Passwords, emails, browsing history, the whole shebang. Scary, right? This is why securing your network is so important. But this is the reality of ARP spoofing. It's a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist in our digital world. Alright, now that you've got a taste of ARP spoofing, let's crank things up a notch with a tool that takes network spying to a whole new level, BetterCAP. BetterCAP is like the Swiss Army knife of MITM attack frameworks. It's packed with features that let you sniff out credentials, inject malicious code, and even hijack entire web sessions. First things first, we need to install BetterCAP on our Kali Linux machine. Don't worry, it's a pretty straightforward process. Once it's up and running, we can start exploring its arsenal of network domination tools. One of the coolest things about BetterCAP is its ability to scan the network and identify all the connected devices. It's like having X-ray vision for your network. Once we've got our targets in sight, we can launch a variety of attacks. Want to see what website someone's visiting? BetterCAP can sniff out unencrypted HTTP traffic and display it right in your terminal. Looking for juicy login credentials? BetterCAP can capture those too, especially if the website is still using outdated protocols like HTTP. But BetterCAP doesn't stop there. It can even inject JavaScript code into web pages on the fly. Okay, so far we've mainly been looking at attacks that target unencrypted HTTP traffic, but what about websites that use HTTPS, you ask? You know, those ones with the little padlock icon in the address bar. Well, that's where SSL stripping comes in. It's a sneaky technique that allows attackers to downgrade a secure HTTPS connection to an insecure HTTP connection, effectively removing the S from HTTPS. Now, SSL stripping relies on the fact that many websites still haven't fully implemented HTTPS or have misconfigured redirects. This gives attackers an opening to exploit. Here's how it works. When a user tries to access a website using HTTPS, the attacker intercepts the request and redirects them to the HTTP version of the site. The user might not even notice the difference, especially if the website doesn't enforce HTTPS properly. Once the user is on the unencrypted HTTP connection, the attacker can eavesdrop on their traffic, steal their credentials, and inject malicious code, just like we saw with BetterCAP. Alright, let's talk about DNS spoofing, another sneaky technique that can really mess with your internet browsing experience. It's a form of cyber attack that can be both frustrating and dangerous. Imagine typing in the URL of your bank's website, but instead of being directed to the legitimate site, you're sent to a fake website designed to steal your login credentials. This fake site looks almost identical to the real one, making it hard to notice the difference. That's DNS spoofing in action. Now, DNS stands for Domain Name System. It's essentially the internet's phone book. It translates human-friendly domain names into IP addresses that computers use to identify each other on the network. When you type in a website's URL, your computer uses DNS to look up the corresponding IP address. This process is usually seamless and happens in the background. DNS spoofing is like messing with this phone book. The attacker tricks your computer into thinking a fake IP address belongs to a legitimate website. This can lead to serious security breaches. To pull this off, attackers can use a variety of methods like compromising DNS servers or setting up rogue DNS servers. These rogue servers can then intercept and redirect your internet traffic. Once they control the DNS resolution process, they can redirect traffic to any website they want. This could be a phishing site, a malware-laden page, or any other malicious destination. In Kali Linux, we have a tool called DNS Spoof that allows us to demonstrate this attack. We can configure DNS Spoof to redirect specific domain names to IP addresses of our choosing. For example, we could redirect all traffic intended for a banking website to a fake website hosted on our own server. This could lead to significant financial losses for unsuspecting users. The possibilities for mischief are endless. From stealing personal information to spreading malware, DNS spoofing can be a powerful tool in the hands of cybercriminals. All right, we've covered a lot of ground today, from ARP spoofing to DNS spoofing and everything in between. It's clear that there are some seriously sneaky techniques out there that attackers can use to spy on your network traffic, but don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There are ways to protect yourself and stay safe in this wild world of network spies. First and foremost, using a VPN is like activating a cloaking device for your internet traffic. It encrypts your data and routes it through a secure server, making it much harder for attackers to intercept and decipher. This is especially important when you're on the go. Next up, be cautious about the Wi-Fi networks you connect to, especially public Wi-Fi. If you must use public Wi-Fi, make sure it's a reputable network and avoid accessing sensitive information like bank accounts or social media. Always think twice before entering personal details. Now let's talk about ethical considerations. The techniques we've discussed today are powerful tools that can be used for both good and evil. It's crucial to use this knowledge responsibly and ethically. Remember, the line between ethical and unethical hacking can be thin. Ethical hacking, also known as penetration testing, involves using these techniques to identify vulnerabilities in systems and networks so they can be patched and secured. This proactive approach helps prevent potential breaches. It's like being a digital security consultant, helping organizations improve their defenses. Your role is to ensure that systems are robust and resilient. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use your newfound knowledge wisely and help make the internet a safer place for everyone. Together, we can build a more secure digital world. So, there you have it, a crash course in MITM attacks and how to protect yourself. Remember, knowledge is power, and by understanding these threats, you're one step ahead in the cybersecurity game. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the basics of ARP spoofing to the complexities of DNS spoofing. We've also explored powerful tools like BetterCAP and SSL strip that can be used for both ethical hacking and malicious purposes. If you're interested in learning more about cybersecurity, ethical hacking, and staying safe online, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. And as always, stay curious, stay vigilant, and stay safe out there in the digital world.